Cyberpunk, History of Dark Age, Season 2, Episode 2, Ashes and Algorithms. Rain hits the neon glass of the Citadel like static on an old screen. 10 days of fragile order have given way to whispers of chaos. The storm may be over, but the city bleeds in new ways. The Citadel was mutating again, and in the shadows, stories collided. Chapter 1. Streets of Neon Ash. The camera of the mind pans across the Slag district. A scarred part of the Citadel still burned from the storm. Rusted scaffolding, holographic ads flickering, streets alive with scavengers. A figure steps through the rain. Detective Arden Locke, his trench coat soaked, cigarette glowing like a dying star. SFX, footsteps splashing through puddles, sirens faint in the background. Locke stops at the crime scene. A body lies twisted in the alley, its implants carved out clean, like they were never there. Locke, gruff, muttering, "Clean work, surgical. This isn't gang violence. This is a message." A younger officer approaches. Riley Tran, fresh recruit of Division 9, trying to keep her nerves steady. Riley, "Sir, the implants weren't stolen. They were erased, like they never existed in the database." Locke exhales smoke, the glow of neon reflected in his tired eyes. Locke, Null Syndicate. And with those words, the alley suddenly feels colder. Chapter 2. Serpents vs. Iron Fangs across the city. A neon-lit warehouse becomes an arena. The Serpent Mafia, led by Ray Santoro, circles the floor. Tattoos glowing under UV light, blades hidden under coats. The Iron Fangs, with Mira Wolf, Drogon at the front, move like a pack, their cybernetic jaws twitching with mechanical growls. SFX, chains rattling, metallic claws scraping concrete, the hum of neon. Rays, smiling cruelly. "You think this city belongs to animals, Wolf? The serpents write the poetry of fear. You just bite Mira, snarling. And poetry won't save you when your blood paints the floor." They clash, steel against chrome, bullets ripping through crates, sparks flying from cybernetic limbs. The war for the underworld has begun. Chapter 3. Helix Tower inside Neurospire. Tower. Dr. Aelia Voss watches the chaos from above. Her silver eyes glow faintly as she reviews security feeds. Beside her, a board member nervously speaks. "Board member, the gangs are tearing the city apart. Division 9 is stretched thin. Should we intervene?" Aelia, coldly, "No. Let the predators fight. Why they draw blood in the streets? We weave the future in silence." She turns toward a glowing display, a prototype implant labeled Project Seraphim. Chapter 4. The Null whisper back in the Slag district. Locke and Riley review encrypted footage. A distortion flickers across the screen. Words appear in shifting code. "You can't trust your memories." Riley, shaken. "What the hell is this?" Locke, "Null Syndicate. They don't just delete data, they delete who you are." Suddenly, a voice echoes through the terminal. Not human, not machine. Null voice, glitching, layered. "Detective Locke, stop digging, or we'll stop you." The screen cuts to static. Riley gasps. Locke just lights another cigarette. Chapter 5. The Mercenary. In the undermarket, where black market tech dealers whisper under neon tarps, a new figure arrives. Tall, cloaked, armor-plated with scavenged chrome. The mercenary known only as Ashen. His visor glows with shifting data, scanning everyone, always calculating. Dealers whisper his name like a curse. He doesn't belong to the Serpents, the Fangs, Helix, or even Null, yet somehow, he knows things he shouldn't. He approaches a dealer. Ashen, calm, mechanical voice. Tell me where the Dragon Queen was last seen. The dealer freezes. Fear spreads like a virus. The storm's ghost had returned to the city's tomb. Chapter 6. The Serpent's Masquerade. The Serpent Mafia didn't just fight their enemies. They celebrated fear. Inside an abandoned metro station beneath the Citadel, Reyes Cobra Santoro hosted what his followers called a masquerade. Floodlights bathed rusted tracks in red. Music throbbed like a heartbeat, and serpents moved through the crowd wearing glowing serpent masks, each one a fragment of neon terror. At the center, Reyes stood shirtless, tattoos of writhing snakes crawling across his chest, cybernetic eyes scanning the crowd. Reyes raising a glass. To the city, to blood, to the poetry of violence. The crowd roared, guns fired in the air. For the serpents, chaos wasn't a crime, it was theater. But in the shadows of the station, spies from the Iron Fangs watched. Their leader, Mira Wolf Dragon, was done hiding. Chapter 7. Clash of teeth and fangs. The masquerade exploded in chaos. The Iron Fangs stormed the station, cybernetic jaws snapping, claws tearing through neon-clad serpents. The air filled with the stench of ozone and blood. SFX, gunfire, screeching metal, bones breaking under cybernetic weight. Mira, shouting, "The hunt begins tonight. The serpents bleed first." Reyes laughing madly, swinging a machete. "Hey, poetry with teeth. Let's see if your jaws can chew fear itself." The fight wasn't just violence, it was a declaration. Two predators, each carving their claim into the Citadel's underworld. Chapter 8. Division 9's Dilemma. Across the city, Division 9 monitored the carnage from their surveillance hub. A dim, overcrowded command center inside a decaying skyscraper. Detective Locke stood with arms crossed as live fates showed serpents and fangs tearing each other apart. Beside him, Riley Tran's hands trembled over the console. "Riley, sir, they're slaughtering each other. Shouldn't we send backup?" Locke gravely resigned. "Backup? We don't have the men, and even if we did, sometimes you let the wolves and snakes kill each other. Saves bullets." A younger officer protested. "Officer, that's not justice." Locke snapping. "This city doesn't run on justice. It runs on survival." Locke lit another cigarette, but his eyes betrayed unease. He knew too well. When predators fight, it's the streets that pay the price. Chapter 9. The Null Interference. As Division 9 debated, their screens flickered. The gang war feeds dissolved into static. Then a single phrase appeared in pulsing green code. "Violence is a diversion." The officers froze. Riley whispered, "Riley, it's them. Null Syndicate." The static warped into an image. A woman's face, expressionless, glitching like corrupted data. Null avatar, distorted voice. "You watch gangs tear flesh while the city's soul is stolen. Helix built chains of light, and you do nothing." The image blinked out, leaving the room in silence. Locke crushed his cigarette under his boot. Locke muttering, "Ghosts telling cops how to do their job. Perfect." But inside, he wondered if they were right. Chapter 10. Ashen's Hunt. Far below the chaos, in the dripping tunnels of the undermarket, Ashen moved like a phantom. His visor glowed with shifting data, scanning vendors and mercs alike. He stopped at a weapons stall. The dealer froze. Ashen, calm, metallic voice. "The Dragon Queen." "Where?" Dealer, stammering. She's gone. Dead." Everyone knows it. Ashen leaned closer. His armor hummed with a low charge, like a predator ready to strike. "Ashen, everyone knows lies. I want truth." The dealer's eyes darted. He finally whispered, "Dealer, they say she left something behind." not her body. A code. Ashen straightened, visor reflecting the neon puddles. A code left by the Dragon Queen. If true, it could burn the Citadel from inside out. Chapter 11. The tower trembles. At the top of Neurospire Tower, Dr. Elira Voss received a report. Her silver eyes scanned the data, and for the first time, her expression cracked. Assistant. Doctor, there's chatter about the Dragon Queen. Some say her consciousness survived the storm. Elira, cold yet tense. Impossible. She was purged, but deep inside, she knew the Dragon Queen wasn't just a myth. She was the one variable Helix couldn't control. And if Ashen was hunting her, the Citadel's fragile balance could shatter. Chapter 12. Closing narration. The Citadel boiled in its own neon blood. Serpents and Fangs fought in alleys. Division 9 struggled against ghosts. Helix chained the future from its tower, and the mercenary hunted whisper of a dead queen. The storm had ended, but what came after was worse. An age of ash, algorithms, and predators. And soon, the city would learn that some ghosts don't fade. They return. Chapter 13. The hunt in the Slag District. Rain-slicked streets reflected neon like shattered glass. Ashen moved silently, boots making no sound. He checked each alley, each vendor, scanning for data fragments linked to the Dragon Queen. A shadow darted across the wall. An Iron Fang scout. Ashen flicked his visor, overlaying thermal scans. Ashen, whispering, "Not today." He disabled the scout with a single pulse from his arm-mounted EMP, leaving the body unconscious and unharmed. Precision mattered. He wasn't here to kill. Not yet. Above, the city's neon heartbeat flickered, as if sensing the intrusion. Chapter 14. The Serpent strike back. Meanwhile, Reyes Santoro convened his lieutenants in a burned-out warehouse. Reyes, grinning, showing Fangs. The Fangs think they can take our territory. Tonight, they'll learn why Serpents rule the night. Guns were loaded, neon daggers polished, and the Serpent's cybernetic enhancements hummed with lethal energy. SFX, mechanical joints whirring, blades sliding from sheaths, distant sirens. Lieutenant Vera, and what about Division 9? Reyes chuckling. They're just spectators. Tonight, the city watches the poetry of fear. The Serpents moved out, shadows in neon rain, ready to carve a statement across the Citadel. Chapter 15. Division 9 in the crossfire. Detective Locke and Riley monitored Serpent and Fang movements via hacked traffic cams. Riley, "Sir, both gangs are converging on the industrial sector. This will be catastrophic, Locke. Get the units ready. But we stay in the shadows. No heroics tonight, Riley. They're going to slaughter each other. Locke, and we'll pick up the pieces." The industrial sector became a chessboard. Each alley, a square. Each drone, a pawn. Locke's mind raced. If the Null Syndicate intervened now, they could erase evidence, manipulate outcomes, or worse, destabilize the city entirely. Chapter 16. Ghost in the Net. Null Syndicate struck, silently. Encrypted messages streamed through Division 9 monitors. "Fighters are distractions. Watch the tower." Locke recognized the pattern. Null didn't care who lived or died, only the moves that affected the city's control grid. Riley, uneasy. They are predicting everything, even us. Locke didn't answer. He already knew. Null always saw more than humans could. Chapter 17. Helix under threat high in Neurospire Tower. Dr. Elira Voss sensed disturbance in her system. Energy fluctuations, minor power drops, and strange code fragments appearing in her mainframe. Elira called to herself. Someone's probing. Dangerous probes. Not Null, something else. She accessed Project Seraphim protocols. Implants across the city pulsed in her monitoring, unaware that some had already been tampered with. SFX, soft electronic hums, alerts pinging, faint whispers of corrupted code. She narrowed her silver eyes. Soon, they will see why the Citadel bends to Helix. Chapter 18, Ashen's Discovery. In a hidden server bunker beneath the undermarket, Ashen found a terminal glowing with ancient code. His visor passed the files. Fragments of Dragon Queen consciousness survived the storm. Ashen, low, determined. So, she's alive. Not in body, in code, and Helix wants it. Narration. The files hinted at AI-augmented consciousness, encrypted in layers of firewalls designed to kill anyone curious enough to find it. Ashen realized this was the true prize. Not gangs, not streets, not even Helix's tech. Whoever controlled the Dragon Queen's code controlled the future of the Citadel itself. Chapter 19, Industrial Sector Bloodbath. Below, the Serpents clashed with the Iron Fangs. Fire and sparks filled the air as cybernetic limbs tore steel and flesh alike. Mira, growling, "You'll pay for every street you claimed." Raze, swinging a neon blade, "And you'll learn the cost of art." SFX, clashing metal, sparks, screams, distant thunder. Division 9 watched from the shadows, occasionally stepping in to prevent complete slaughter. The balance was delicate. A single misstep could trigger Null's interference or allow Helix to exploit chaos. Chapter 20, closing of the episode. As the rain washed blood from the streets, Ashen transmitted a fragment of the Dragon Queen's code to a hidden safe node. The Null Syndicate silently observed the gang war from digital shadows, manipulating outcomes just enough to stay invisible. Locke lit his last cigarette, staring at the industrial skyline. Locke, voiceover. "The city survives. Barely. But something tells me this is only the beginning. Shadows shift, alliances break, and the real war hasn't even started yet." The camera pans to Neurospire Tower. Lights flicker. Something ancient, something digital stirs. The Dragon Queen's whisper echoes faintly across the Citadel. I am awake. And somewhere in the neon haze, every player, gang, cop, mercenary, and corporation will soon learn that survival in the Dark Age is no longer measured in blood, but in code.